Here is exactly why most people never reach their goals. I'm going to explain to you the 5 biggest obstacles and 5 biggest mistakes that people make that stop them from fully achieving the body that they want, having the health they want, the confidence that they want, and never quite making it. Now, I've been coaching for over 5 years, been training for over 10 years, and this is the kind of conclusion that I've come to when it comes to identifying these key pitfalls that people have. Now, hopefully, going into 2025, you don't make these mistakes, you go through your body transformation, you get to where you want to get to, and you achieve everything you ever wanted with your body, your health, your physique, and your confidence. Now let's get into this. Number 1 is going to be alcohol consumption. Now, most people drink way too much. Okay, a lot of the time, this is one of the biggest things that we identify at Fit Lab. Someone comes in, we ask them how much they're drinking, and it's way too high, realistically, to the kind of results that they want to see. Their expectation of getting the results that they want and the drink that they're currently having, these things don't work. So a lot of the time, what we do at Fit Lab is we try and make very quick and easy, simple changes to our clients' habits, to our clients' routines, so they start getting amazing results. And often just by pulling back on the alcohol, not necessarily cutting it out, but pulling back on it, can make a massive difference. Now, why is alcohol so damaging for most people? Now, it's not just the calories. Now, of course, alcohol does have calories in it, the empty calories. So these provide absolutely no benefit to your body. Anything, they are actually damaging your body, a way of poisoning your body. And it is just not what we want to be doing in terms of putting all of that into our body. Calories can add up depending on also what you drink. If you're a beer drinker, you're going to be putting in potentially thousands of calories into your body per week. If you prefer maybe more spirits, maybe not quite as severe, but just in general, calories add up so much. Okay, we literally can have like a glass of wine, that's a couple of hundred calories. You know, even if we did decide to just have like a vodka Diet Coke, you're still gonna set you back like 80, 90 calories. If you have, you know, 2 weekends or 2 days at the weekend when you go out and you drink 5 of those, it's an extra 1,000 calories you're putting in your body per week. Simple things add up. And I know a lot of people that actually drink alcohol on a daily basis, and this is a habit they're trying to get away from. Imagine if you're putting in like, you know, 400 or 500 calories from alcohol every single night. Some people have a bottle of wine every single night. That's like, you know, hundreds and hundreds of calories that people are consuming. Pointless calories, empty calories that are doing nothing for your body, nothing for your health. Almost just trying to fill a hole that you will not be managing to fill, be fulfilled from your diet, from your results. Effectively, you're just doing something that's providing more of a short-term benefit rather than a long-term benefit. Now, even if we put the calories just to one side for a second, alcohol does other things. It blocks fat oxidation, which is our body's ability to lose body fat. So we're actually damaging, even in a calorie deficit, if we're drinking high amounts of alcohol, we are damaging the amount of body fat that we can actually use, which means that we could lose muscle, which is not gonna lose as much fat as what we'd want to lose. Fat oxidation is gonna suck. Muscle protein synthesis gets damaged as well. This is our body's ability to be able to build muscle, okay? Build new tissue. This is a process that goes on inside of our body, but if we're flooding our body with loads of alcohol, we're damaging this process as well. So the amount of muscle that we can actually build is damaged. Recovery suffers as well. This means that we're not gonna be able to recover, get stronger, you know, improve in the gym as much. This is also going to be damaged. And one of the biggest things as well, sleep. If we drink alcohol, our sleep suffers, especially if you drink alcohol before you go to bed. If you sat here thinking that alcohol helps you sleep, it actually does the opposite. When you drink alcohol, it's actually going to make it way harder for you to be able to get into a good night's sleep. You become restful, and you're just not going to be able to take the benefits of a good night's sleep, which is going to damage your results. So hopefully you can see now why alcohol is such a big problem for most people. It's a lot worse than what you might think it is. And if you are excessively drinking at the moment and you want a 6-pack by the summer, or you want a bikini body, you are not going to reach that goal. You're going to make it very, very challenging. Now, I'm not saying you have to give alcohol up. I personally do drink sometimes, but I know how to manage it within my diet so that it doesn't set my results. And that's one thing that you need to learn as well. If you are looking to get into amazing shape, initially, you are gonna have to cut back on the alcohol. Number 2 is the reasons as to why people are never able to achieve the body they want, and this is because they overestimate on the amount of calories that they burn every single day. This is super common, all through exercise. Just in general, people overestimate calorie burn, okay? Calorie burn is a lot lower than what we might think it is, especially through exercise. This isn't actually a smartwatch, but these inherently are really bad in terms of actually estimating calories that you burn from exercise. So many times I get on calls with people and they're like, oh, you know, I do my class and I burn this many calories. I go out for a run, I burn this many calories. And people almost eat back these calories because they think they've burnt so many calories from doing some form of exercise. This is not how things work. If we overestimate the amount of calories that we burn and we constantly tell ourselves it's okay to eat calories back because we're doing this and we're doing that, it's no wonder why you're never gonna get in shape, because it's just not how things work. You shouldn't even worry about how many calories you burn from exercise, unless it's at the absolute extreme end and you're running like marathons or you're really pushing hard from an endurance perspective, it doesn't matter about how many calories that you burn from a 5K run or from doing a spin class, okay? It doesn't really matter. You should calculate your calorie deficit and the amount of calories that you consume every single day without even worrying about these things. If we implement cardio into one of our clients' routines, we don't get them to eat back those calories because they're doing some more cardio. It just doesn't work like that. And people thinking that they're burning more calories than what they're currently doing is the biggest reason why people aren't losing weight. Okay, as I say, losing weight is very simple. We have to be in a calorie deficit. If you're not in a calorie deficit, you're not going to lose weight. So if you are not losing weight, you are eating too many calories. So regardless as to whether you feel that you're burning fat from doing cardio, you're not. Because if you were burning fat, you'd be losing weight. So your cardio is not having as much of a benefit as what you might think it is. So get away from this mentality. Just stop going off the calories that it says that you've burnt on your smartwatch and just start being sensible with your nutrition. Your biggest focus is how many calories are going in here, not how many calories are going out. Focus on getting your steps in, be active, train, do some cardio, but don't get too carried away with the amount of calories that this says that you're burning each day. Number 3 is the lack of nutritional accountability that people have. Now, what I mean by this is people don't track their calories. People have no idea how many calories they're consuming from their favorite foods. Take coffees, for example. People don't realize that just by having things like lattes or frappuccinos or cappuccinos or whatever these fancy coffees are that people like to have, you're putting empty calories theoretically again into your body. And people don't realize this is happening. The oil that we cook with has loads of calories in it. The couple of dark chocolate squares you're taking out of the fridge in the evening, this all adds up as well. Just in general, the food that we eat out at restaurants, there's so many more calories inside of these foods than what people might think. Most main courses are going to see you back at least 1,000 calories per day, at least 1,000 calories per meal. And that lack of nutritional understanding is what holds back a lot of people. It was only the other day when I was out in one of the malls out here in Dubai and I picked up something that actually said low fat on it. And I thought, that doesn't seem right. Some kind of like sweet cake, whatever, in one of the coffee shops, low fat. So I picked it up and I looked on the back of it and it had 25 grams of fat inside of it. Something that is classed and labeled as low fat is almost half of what most people's dietary fat intake should be per day. So it's not your fault if you're not in the shape that you want to be in at the moment, because the odds are stacked against you. Most supermarkets market themselves wrong. Lots of things say high protein on them and they've got like 10 grams of protein in them but are 500 calories. This is the problem that we live in nowadays. It has never been harder for you to be able to lose fat and be able to be on track with your nutrition because it's odds are stacked against you. Marketing is at its all-time highest in terms of food labeling being wrong and things being promoted in the wrong way, and people don't know what to choose to eat. People don't know what they should be having. There's loads of different people screaming from different angles. Should we be doing keto? Should we be doing higher carb diets, paleo, vegan, all these different things? And it's super confusing now in terms of what you should be doing. So that lack of nutritional understanding and accountability is what holds so many people back. Now, I'm not going to go through today what realistically you should be understanding in nutrition, the basic principles behind it. I've got tons of videos on my channel which you can go and watch. And if you want to cut through all the BS, work with us one-to-one so I can explain this to you personally, of course, I'll leave a link below. Fill in an application to work with us, and of course I'll be in touch. But for this video, I just want you to understand that the reason why you might not be in shape at the moment is probably down to the fact that you don't understand nutrition well enough, you're not taking full accountability for the foods that you eat, maybe not tracking your calories, and you are just over consuming on food. And just by doing this very simply, you are not going to get the results that you want, and you're never going to lose the belly fat. Number 4, now this is a bit more of a mindset related one, and this is that people don't actually have a reason to want to be in shape. It's not big enough for them to want to lose the belly fat when times get hard. At the start, people maybe want to get in shape just because they've got a holiday coming up, or they've got a wedding, or they just, maybe they just don't feel quite as good as what they used to in their clothes, they've gained a bit of weight over Christmas. So yeah, it's enough to start and you kind of get going, you make a good start with things. But when the going gets tough and you want to maybe go out on the weekend, or you have a lot of social events, or you get busy with your work schedule, or maybe you've just been doing it for a long time and you just kind of get a little bit bored of the process, that not having a strong enough why is what most people seem to fail with, and they give up. Because if there's not a real anchor in your fitness journey that's making you want to do this, well, you're not going to do it. So you have to find enjoyment in the process, but you have to actually have a strong reason as to why it's important for you. Really think clear about that, especially going into the new year. You need to understand why you losing weight and keeping the weight off is going to be really important to you. Why do you want a six-pack? So it's not just so that you get a good photo for your holiday, or you just look okay without your top on for a few weeks per year. That's not enough. Okay, if that was what your original why was, you're not going to stay in shape. You need to be clearer on why it's important to you. And then actually the staying in shape part, the getting the body fat off part is easy. When you've got this strong reason, when things get hard throughout your dieting phase and you want to give up and you want to go and eat everything back and you just think, I can't be arsed anymore. You have a really strong reason that you've decided why this is important to you and you've got the accountability there. You're not going to make mistakes. You're going to continue. You won't do what the 93% of people do and you will lose a stubborn belly fat. So having a strong motivational why is super important. I always bang on about this to clients. Why is it you're on this call? Why do you want to lose weight? Why will your life change when we achieve this goal? And you need to think about that, because if you don't have that understanding at the moment, telling you now, you're probably not going to see this transformation through. You might lose a little bit of weight, you might get in okay shape, you might get in good shape, but you'll just gain the weight back afterwards. Like most people, you won't keep it off for the rest of your life. The thinking here, why is this important to you? Number 5, guys, probably the most important one, the thing that most people struggle with is inconsistency. Inconsistency with their training, inconsistency with their nutrition. This is people's biggest pitfall. How many people I've spoke to that are all or nothing? How many people have told me that they've been in shape before and then they've just fallen off the wagon again? Because they don't make fitness part of their lifestyle and they don't know how to remain consistent, and they are all or they're nothing. They're trying to be perfect or they're doing nothing at all. That never ever works. The reason why I've managed to sustain shape the last 10 years, always managed to keep lean, is because I'm consistent. I'm not a robot. I'm not perfect all the time, but I'm very, very consistent. And that is the trait that pretty much every lean person or individual that you see year on year has. So this is the absolute key thing that you need. Consistent with your diet in terms of eating good foods 90% of the time, eating a lot of protein 90% of the time, avoiding alcohol most of the time, but every now and then it's fine to enjoy it, especially sometimes around special occasions. And if I was to go out and get pissed every now and then, it will do absolutely nothing to my body composition. I might feel a little bit ropey for the following days or the following week afterwards, but that's about it. It's not going to affect my way I look. It's not going to affect my health in that much of a detrimental way long term. It's fine to be able to enjoy these things. It's about making sure that you stay consistent. The lack of consistency that people have with their training, some weeks they're training like 6 days per week, other weeks they're back to training maybe once or not at all. They're on, they're off, they're on, they're off. It's never ever works. You want to lose a stubborn belly fat, you want to keep it off for the rest of your life, stay lean, stay healthy, you need to build consistency in your routine. And you need to do what's actually going to be realistic for you as an individual. For most people, they always overestimate way more than what they think they can actually do. They think, oh yeah, I can train 5 days a week, I'll be able to keep that up. Oh yeah, no, I can eat clean all the time. I don't need to eat, enjoyable foods. I don't need to eat processed foods anymore. I'm fine with that. They last maybe like 6 weeks and then they fall off again. So do what is going to work for you, what's going to allow you to be realistic and enjoy your life at the same time, because this is what's going to keep you on track. The best diet that you can follow is the one that you can stick to. This is the key thing. You can't see yourself following the same diet a year from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now. This is not the diet that you need to be following. You need to find an eating approach and a training schedule that is going to work for you for the long run. So this, guys, this is the 5 biggest reasons why maybe you're not in shape at the moment, or maybe you struggle to get in shape over these years. If you go through each of these 5 things individually and come up with a plan in terms of how you're going to manage them, I guarantee you'll start getting amazing results. It's not as hard as what you might think. Getting in shape is actually very simple. You just need to turn up and be consistent. You don't want to just rely on doing things when you want to do them. You need to do them all the time, even during those times where things might be a little bit harder. So as always, if you found this video useful, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe for future videos, make sure you smash the bell notification so you're notified every single time I post. As always, I'll catch you in the next video.